What's up, rewatchers?
Hi, I'm Dustin.
And I'm Lauren from Fashion Grunge, and we're here to tell you that the following podcast has strong adult language, so please keep in mind who around you can hear it.
Also, just a warning that there are spoilers ahead.
But it's been out for a long time. You really should have watched by now.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Well, Calvin. Calvin. He's the
I
worst.
hate that kid with the fiery passion.
He's the worst.
Hello, rewatchers. I'm Dustin, and this is the Rewatch Recap, where we recap shows for nostalgia or pure amusement. And back with me again is Lauren from Fashion Grunge in her cartoon form.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, she's got a new look this time around. I hope you like it. I worked hard on it.
I know, right? I'm going to just keep changing.
There you go. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
I may not be cartoon form at some point, so you'll just have to stay tuned.
We'll see. Maybe we'll do a magical transformation one day. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know. That'll be cool.
So far, we've met Ghostwriter. We've met the team. I love that we've met the team who've like mysteriously regressed in the second mystery to the younger age, and now they're back to normal age again. Everything's okay now. And I would say that this mystery is kind of like a halfway point between, like, as far as the quality, is like a halfway point between Ghost Story and Brinker's Store, wouldn't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
It's like you called the first one more remedial, so it's kind of a little remedial, but it's a little more higher stakes than the first one, you know, and
it's more
it's
real
a little
world.
more clue-based, better clue-based.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Even though you don't get, like, it's not as cool as far as like, oh, that thing, you blink and you missed it thing that you should have paid attention to, like Brinker's Store.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. The Brinker's Store one was really involved. Like, it was a legit mystery that was like the timing, and they changed the clocks, and like, how would you know all of this? But this one is way more like real world. Ghostwriter was involved, but like not really. It was basically them just trying to figure out what was going on,
but
like,
it
in
did
real
teach
time.
them like how to figure things out. You know what I mean? Like, it was a little different. It wasn't as, you know, involved. But they had the code stuff in the first one, and that was fine.
Yeah.
But like this had a little bit more involved with it, I think. But it's not as Kojak as Brinker's Store.
No, yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited about this one. Are you ready to start to Catch a Creep Part 1?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. Okay, so we start off, and it's at Zora Neale Hurston Middle School. It's a wild campaign rally, and like everybody's got signs, and they're chanting, and like some girl's doing some really horrible Running Man move on the stage. I don't know what the deal with that, but I mean, it was the 90s.
It's the 90s.
Say, right? And Alex is over here yelling, "Who's the people's choice? Who's the people's choice?" And they're going, "Alex, Alex."
It was intense.
I know. And this one kid has his own theme song. I am one of you. I am one of you. Like,
I know.
But that's the only lyric.
Yeah, that's the only song. That's like the only bit of it.
Song, though. It is produced.
It was cool. Well, I was going to ask you, did you ever have in your schools, did you ever have a class president, like a student council, and it was like this intense when people were voting? I don't think I ever went to a school that had like, you pick the president.
Mostly they had like, I think the most they did was have like campaign posters on the walls that you had to have it up by a certain date, or you can go in and do it, you know. And then they had, I think maybe they might have interviewed them for the school newspaper or something a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then sometimes, I don't know, I can't remember if this happened, but at one point they used to do like over the morning announcements, they would have like people who were running for the president would get on and like say a quick campaign thing, and then the next person would come. You know what I mean? I think they stopped that though, but they did it at one point. So it wasn't as like crazy as this was. This was like, where were the adults?
Yeah,
It's
the
one
TV
adult in this
ones
school.
are always crazy. And she hates Calvin as well,
Oh my God.
just as much as we all do.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so like, we see Lenny and Jamal. They're sitting in the audience and they're going, Alex, Alex. I never understood what this was. The
I
whole
know,
like,
the
let's
pump.
pump my, like Arsenio
Arsenio
Hall.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was around the time, 92. So that would have been,
The
yeah, we would have
doghouse.
known. Yeah, we would have known.
Oh God. So and then there's some straight laced girl, and she's like, if you elect me, you'll be very happy you did. Yawn.
I know. Okay.
So her sign says, say me too, vote for me too. It's catchy.
I was like, that doesn't work now. We're not saying me too,
I
but
know.
and then vote for the
I didn't even
girl.
think of
But
that.
but we get it. It rhymes. That's
Don't
the only
say
thing
me
that rhymes.
too.
Yeah, don't say me too and vote for her. Although, yeah, it's just that doesn't work now.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. And then we have some kid named Jeffrey Baxter, who is apparently finishing some speech with, I'll be sure to keep it that way. And I'm like, what? What? Keep what that way? I don't understand. But I feel like I know who he grew up to vote for.
I was gonna say, I know who he sounds like.
Exactly. And of course, Calvin Ferguson as his campaign manager.
Oh God, we've already met Calvin in that dumb store and that dumb parrot.
We got a new kid. It's this kid is called Joey Shea. So he takes over the role for the rest of the series. While whenever Calvin shows up, it's this kid. He's perfect though. He's a lot like creepier.
He is more. You know what he reminds me of? Calvin, who was Clarissa's. Wasn't his name? Was his name Ferguson?
No, his name was Ferguson. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Her brother. Yeah,
her brother. Yeah, because I was like, is this the same guy, or like, is this modeled after? Like, they had the same name, and like, let me see. I'm gonna find out who that actor is.
I think those came out around the same time, actually.
Yeah,
because
he was like an annoying brother. What is his name?
I don't know. And then Calvin comes up and he's like, just keep nodding and smiling, nodding and smiling.
I mean, so gross.
And he's got the dimples, and it's like, that even makes it worse because
sinister.
It's supposed to seem, it's sinister, and it's like, look at me, I'm innocent and cute, but I'm a jerk. Like, no, I can't. So
we also know who he voted for too.
I mean, I think he's
running though. He would be like someone who would run.
No, he would be the person who'd be the chief of staff, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes, he would be in the cabinet for sure, or in the higher ups of the administration.
We already know who this person is, so just we're not saying the names, but you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
And then there's some girl named Janet Williams who's like trying nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying that angle. She's like, I'm going to continue the great work of my sister before me, and I'm like, ugh. Literal sister, not like a feminist sister.
Yeah, literal older sister, I think, who was president last year or something.
Right. So the bell rings and Alex jumps off the stage to meet Lenny and Jamal, and they're like looking right at the camera, like, "Good job, Alex."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why we're getting a POV shot, but it's weird. Lenny's like, "The election was today. You'd win by a mile."
Win by a mile.
And Alex is like, "If it's next Wednesday, I'm gonna win by 100 miles." I'm like,
I know.
Inflate that ego, Alejandro.
Yeah, I was like, where did this come from? I feel like we made a weird jump from like Alex being kind of chill, and now he's like really involved in politics. Like I was like, he never seemed like someone who was, like about the school and like, going into issues. But I guess, they had to make up something. But I was like, wow, he's really into it.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, let's go. And they leave just as Ghostwriter shows up and he's reading an Alex for President poster. And then a mysterious hand, a gloved hand. Why is it always a gloved hand?
I know. Yeah. So you can't see.
And it's like it's a black sleeve, a black glove. And it's like slaps up this poster and it says, Alex Fernandez sleeps with the Mickey Mouse nightlight. Dun dun.
I know, as if okay.
Yeah. Okay. And it's like, And I had to make that sound when Ghostwriter shows up.
Yeah.
And then the show opens. Ghostwriter.
Word.
There you go. We come back to Alex, and he's daydreaming. He's sitting in a classroom desk, and he's daydreaming about becoming president of the United States one day. And I'm like,
oh, God, help
not
him.
In this day and age, bucko. Your family is full of immigrants.
I know, right? Unfortunately, for his situation, yeah.
Let's be real. And then some kids show up and like to talk to him. One's a basketball player asking if Alex is going to let the school cut the team. And then the girl that's with him, she's like, what about girls volleyball? We're important too.
This was hilarious. I made a note. I was like, not the girls volleyball team getting cut. What was that?
I mean,
Like, that interaction was so funny.
it was just the way she was so aggressive about it. And it was like, damn, chill out.
It's
We're
like, I
important
think of
too.
all the sports teams, it seems like that's what's on the line, is that I guess the school's cutting the budget of the sports teams, and Alex is taking the position of like, well, I'm going to make sure that I balance the budget, and like none of the teams will get eliminated. And then of course, yeah, he's like, I'm going to make all these crazy promises, even though I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but I'm definitely going to make
I said.
sure.
Alex makes big promises about not letting teams getting on the chopping block due to budget cuts, and that he has no control over.
No, yeah, I was like, what kind of school is this where the president of like 7th grade is like sending in a fiscal budget for like the school and being like,
I
all right,
mean,
here's what we can do
they
to
are
like trim
advanced.
this. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, that's cool.
So they're like, what are you going to do, Alex? And he's like, well, first thing, I need you to vote for me.
Yeah,
I'm
forget
like,
all
that
that.
is
I need the
politician
vote
talk
first.
right there.
Yes, definitely.
Invade and like, Lord. Anyway, so Jamal and Lenny show up as Alex is working on his campaign statement, and he reads it to them, and he's like, voters, my name is Alejandro Fernandez, better known as Alex. You all know I'm a big sports fan, and I like hanging out with my friends. I consider all of you my friends, so vote for me, because that's what friends are for.
My statement here was like, okay, side note. I was like, why is Lenny all of a sudden dressed like a Black Panther? And why are Lenny and Jamal like all of a sudden political experts? And like, when did they become like pundits? They're all like, okay, we know how to write a campaign statement. I was like, where did this come from? Like, what is going on? Like, I would like a Samuel Jackson like interlude of like Jamal being like, I got my friend at school, and he's running for president, but like, how do we get the people motivated? And he goes, well, son, like this is what happened in civil rights. And like, you have to apply this to like smaller things. But then all of a sudden it's like Jamal and Lenny just know what's going on. They know what's up. They're like, this is how you write a campaign promise. This is how you get it, down to the statement. I was
they
like,
must
okay.
be studying up on this like in their spare time.
Yeah, they're like poli-sci. Yeah, they're like poli-sci majors. So I was like, okay, Lenny, go. Like, all right, let's go. That's
so
funny.
Yeah, they're like, they kind of look at each other like, what?
And he has 20 minutes. He goes,
20 minutes.
It's due in 20 minutes. I was like, you're doing this now?
Like you just started this? Like,
yeah, it's like, this is crazy.
And I mean, I don't know. He's like, you need to do more than this, not just this vote for me slop, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so Lenny goes, let's go to the chalkboard. And she goes to the chalkboard, and he's like, why are you running, Alex? And he says, well, I'm not afraid to speak up for what I believe in. And she says, we'll speak up.
Yeah.
Right? And so Alex is like, kids can trust me. And Jamal's like, can be trusted.
Like, why though?
I don't know. And for some reason, Lenny yells, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Like, wow, just chill. Like, calm down. We all love this kid's running for president, but he hasn't won yet. Come on, Lenny.
I know, right?
So, like, Ghostwriter shows up, and he's, like, spinning the globe, and he shows his little symbols on top of the globe. And he's like a big Ghostwriter, and then he jumps on to the chalkboard, and he's like, who is Mickey Mouse? And Jamal's like, a Disney cartoon. And then they walk off, and Alex is like, all right, I'm going to come up with a solution to the budget problem because I'm fair and I won't take sides. And so Jamal writes, fair.
I wrote the slow chalkboard writing is going to be the death of me in this show.
Gosh.
I was like, but I get it. They're trying to teach kids how to like write and, read properly.
That was more normal chalkboard writing to me. I mean, it's still slow, but it was like more
slow.
normal.
It did get a little faster. Yeah,
and it was them writing. We knew that for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Ghostwriter shows up. And he's like, what is a Disney?
Yeah.
And Alex is like, I can't hate this right now. Later.
Later, go away.
And Lenny's like, that was rude. That was rude as Alex. And he's like, I have a deadline. I'll apologize later. I'm like, you're being an ass, dude. You're being a jerk to your friend who's like helped you solve mysteries. Come on. Anyway,
Another note that I'd love to ask the actors of the show now how they dealt with the green screen back then, because now it's so much more advanced, but like how did they know like where to look? And like I wonder what it looked like behind the scenes when they were like, okay, see that globe, okay, it's gonna spin. You have to look at that globe, then you have to look at the chalkboard because it's gonna go from here to here. And like
yeah.
they were really good at it. Like it didn't
They
seem
got better as it
cheesy.
went on,
Yeah,
too.
they got
Like,
better. Yeah, and
they
I was
probably
like,
had to
that's
count
cool.
beats. Like, all right, you're looking here for a couple seconds. 1,
Probably,
2, 3.
yeah.
Look over here. 1, 2, 3. Look over there. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's
it was
probably the best
cool.
way they could do it. So anyway, so Alex sits down. He starts to write. My name is Alejandro Fernandez, better known as Alex. And he looks up like, I'm like, okay, slow your roll, kid.
Yeah, it's like that's
And he
it.
continues like, I think I will be the best president because I can be trusted and I will speak up for my fellow students. I will listen to all sides and find a fair solution to the sports budget problem. And Jamal's like, it's getting there. You're getting there. And Alex is like, I need a good finish, right? And then you hear in the hallway some girls laughing. She's like, ha, 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 just wait till Alex sees this. He's going to die.
Oh no.
I'm like, what? And so they all run out into the hall, and somebody has posted all these flyers of Alex. Like, he's like a baby, and he's in a crib, and he's got like a Mickey Mouse nightlight, and it says, Alex Fernandez sleeps with the Mickey Mouse nightlight. And it's all over the place. It's overkill, for sure.
Oh, like, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. They put so many of them. How'd they do that this fast, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And, I mean, why would they do this? Like, so...
The whole thing made no sense. The whole overarching story on why it was just Alex, like, it made no sense, really.
I mean, it kind of does, but we'll get there.
Kind of does, yeah. But I was like, oh, it's just him. Okay, that's weird. Like,
yeah.
But overkill him.
And so Jamal's like, someone wants to make you look like a wimp, Alex. And some other kids hear this at the end of the hall, and they're laughing at him. And Jamal's like, look, you finish writing your stuff. Lenny and I will clear up these like posters. And they do this whole like sped up,
so weird montage. Yeah.
Bumping into each other and stuff, and just like jumping around. I'm like, did we have to see this entire thing?
Yeah, that was long. There was another moment too where there was like a long montage of whatever they were doing. I was like, this is like 3 minutes.
I guess they were just filling time. That was the best way I could think of it.
Yeah.
It's cute, but it's unnecessary. Anyway, so Alex can't think because of the flyer. Like, he's got it in his head, and he says, okay, they might fight dirty, but I won't. I run a clean campaign. He's talking to himself. He's like, wait. And so he writes like, I'm not afraid to run a clean campaign. I'm like, good deal. That's not bad. He's attacking this early on. It's like, I'm responding to this right now. I'm going to run clean. I'm not going to be mean about it. Right?
That's how you lose.
You see what
elections.
I'm doing? I'm doing that thing with my thumb. I'm over here going, I'm going to do this. I'm like, what is it about like running for some kind of office? You got to do this thing.
That's Clinton, right? Didn't Clinton do that?
And
that's what they.
Who was the other guy who had the thing wrong with his hand? He had to hold the pen. Oh my gosh. He was Republican. I can't remember who it was though, but I'll probably remember later. Anyway, so he runs outside, meets Lenny and Jamal, and they congratulate him on getting the statement done. And Jamal asks, who would lie on you like that? And he's like, well, it's not really a lie. The nightlight is Gabby's, but wait, would Gabby say something? And Lenny's like, no, it's your sister. And I'm like, Lenny, you are clearly an only child.
Exactly. It's your sister.
You don't get the sibling rivalry of it all? Like, your sister would probably do that. Tell people about this. And Alex is like, she's got a big mouth. She could have told somebody while her tongue was wagging. Like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Okay. Lenny says, well, that's why Ghostwriter was asking about Mickey Mouse. And Alex is like, oh my God, I forgot to apologize. So he runs back inside because apparently the Ghostwriter pens only work indoors. He runs back inside.
You can't just write it outside.
I mean, and he goes back, like, he doesn't have paper in his bag, apparently, but he goes back into the classroom and writes it on the chalkboard. Sorry, I was too busy for you. You're a true friend. Gracias. Like, no one's going to ever read this. Like, you're just going to leave
it. Yeah, like, who's
Did they erase it? I don't know. And if the letters are moved in their view, it's not moved in everybody else's view. So he still needs to, like, run the eraser over the chalkboard.
Yeah, over it.
Even if the letters, he doesn't see them anymore because Ghostwriter moved them, but they're not moved in real life.
Yeah, they're not actually moved. Yeah, they're really there. That's weird.
And then he adds, P.S. Gracias means thanks. Again, because Ghostwriter can't read a Spanish to English dictionary.
I was gonna say, can't he like read? Doesn't he know that?
By
Like he can
now,
read
you've
everything.
known
Yeah,
these
he can read
kids.
everything.
They have
Yeah.
like Latin and Spanish phrases all over their place. Like you would
Yeah,
think at
all
some point he would
over.
pick up on something. But so he just responds, "Gracias to you too, friend." I'm like, oh, you're very forgiving. He was a jerk. But
I know, yeah.
so we
Not
hop over
now.
to Alex and Gabby's bedroom, and he runs in and's like, "You might as well admit it, Blabby. Everyone knows you can't keep your mouth shut." And then she like yells, "Get out of my face, Alex!"
She's really funny. Wait, there's a different actress who plays Gabby later, right?
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
not
okay.
like, she doesn't have the same attitude. It's a
Yeah,
completely
no, she
different
does. I was gonna say, I
style.
don't remember the older Gabby being this like sistery, like
Yeah.
little sister.
This is like real little sister.
This is real little
rivalry. This is
sister,
actually
yeah.
good. And
Yeah,
something
this
tells
is
me she's
good.
not acting here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she's probably like, I'm good at this. I can do this.
I'm really good. Yeah. So she's like, she didn't tell anybody about the nightlight. And he's like, I wish I had my own room. And she was like, I wish you had your own planet. And then she like drops her makeshift blind partitions all over this time.
I know.
So I'm going in my blind. I don't know if you would call it, but and then we go over to Jamal's and we see that Lenny is in Jamal's room waiting for him to bring up like peanut butter cookies and chocolate milk. And
doesn't she go like, and chocolate milk? I want chocolate.
Yeah,
Don't forget
make that chocolate milk. Yeah. Like, calm down.
Like, okay.
I don't know. Peanut butter cookie. I don't like peanut butter cookies, but peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know.
No, peanut butter and chocolate is the most elite combination of all time.
But like chocolate milk.
But
it's chocolate
milk, I might have to draw a line there.
And peanut butter cookie is not the same. I don't know.
I like peanut butter cookies. I will say that. Sandwich cookies, peanut butter sandwich cookies are good.
Kind of like an Oreo type.
No, like almost like a vanilla cookie, but then peanut butter sandwich, and then dunk that in milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's good. I don't know about they do make Oreo peanut butters, but I've never had those. But that's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine.
I don't know. I'm not big on. I can do a peanut butter sandwich or peanut butter and jelly sandwich and Reese's Pieces, not Reese's peanut butter cups. Reese's Pieces. That's it.
Yeah, I like the Pieces. Yeah, they're really good. I love peanut butter.
That's a candy shell. It's not chocolate shell. I just don't like the peanut butter and chocolate combo.
Really? Oh,
I used to when I was a kid, but I just don't now. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. I like it.
My taste buds changed. But anyway, so Ghostwriter shows up and he's on Jamal's computer and he's like, "What's going on with Alex?" And Lenny's like, "I wonder if I should." I'm like, I think he'd understand. Ghostwriter's writing to you. You can get on his computer. It's on.
Yeah.
It's
not right a big deal, guys.
Just get on. So she sits down and says, I don't know, somebody's posting nasty things about him and she doesn't know why. And she's like, what can I do to help him? And Ghostwriter's like, just stand by him the way you do all your friends.
Yeah, that's his answers for this throughout. It was very just like, that's a friend. Like, just be there. I'm like, yeah, but what can they do? Like
I need some action I can take.
Action, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, she's like, I hope it's enough. I'm like, I guess it could be because friendship, in hard times, it's worth its weight in gold. But
that's true, yeah.
Just being supportive. So the next day at school, Lenny and Jamal help Alex pass out his campaign flyers, and they're like, yeah, we're pumped, woohoo! And they start to go inside because they're all about this election. And when they walk into the hall, those damn flyers are back again, and they're posted everywhere. And I'm like, why are they just targeting him? Like,
yeah, that's what I was like. Why him?
Like, there's only three. There's three candidates. There's three other candidates, and it's just like very personal, right?
And it's like personal. It's not like stuff that he said that he was going to promise about the election. Like, this is about him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is very mudslingy. It's kind of like they didn't say mudsling. They did say like run a clean campaign, but that does happen in politics. I guess that was like the lesson,
Yeah. A lot of people didn't learn it, but
yeah, no.
So on a side note, so I looked and I was like, is Lenny appropriating an African hat?
Okay.
That kind of
I never understood
looking flat top hat.
Yeah, she has like the I don't even know what exact pattern that is because every tribe has like different patterns. But she had the beret that was vaguely like a Black Panther hat, which she has a red one later too with like a
I don't mind the beret as much as that is French,
border.
for real. But
yes. But it looks like the Black Panther one that has the leather band, and then I think there's like another. It's not just a regular like beret. It has like the border, which I think is what a lot of the Black Panthers wore. They were like a specific one.
And she looks like she shops at vintage clothing stores, so maybe she found a vintage Black Panther beret.
She does have that kind of like, it was kind of like, let's make sure that people think she's like an activist. Like, I guess maybe let's not make it obvious for like the Black character to wear it. Let's like put it on. I don't think she's appropriating. We didn't have that in the 90s. That wasn't like a thing.
It wasn't a thing then.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing. We would have been like, oh cool, she's got this hat, like whatever, you know, like
and I guess because it's urban based.
Yeah, she's in Brooklyn. Yeah,
so I guess it's kind of like, you know, she and her friends she has a bunch of, you know, Black friends,
multicultural school, like everything. She's
just kind of like that's just the influence she got, you know. That's I like that hat, I'm gonna get a hat like that, you know what I mean? Like it didn't mean anything. She's a kid, she didn't know, you know.
And have they ever had an episode that was centered around like race or immigration? I don't know if that was
not like immigration. There's a little bit of like some racial tension, you know, sometimes I think.
They don't
actually say anything outright, but there's like some.
No, there's never one where they say anything outright. Yeah, we've seen it in like the Brinker store because Jamal's like gonna get fucking arrested, for God's sakes. And then in the other one, remember Calvin, I think, is like, "What's up, homie?" Or like, and I was like,
the ghost story. He was like, "What's up, homie?" And the like, "What's up, homie?"
Yeah, I was like, why would you say that to him? Like okay. It's weird,
but that was like some microaggressive racism.
But I didn't know if they had an episode where they might. I mean, I'll go through them.
We have definitions for it now, but we
do, or like, you know, or maybe they could have had one with Alex. Like, they easily could have done one with Alex because it's like, oh well, why do you live in like the same room as your sister? Why do you live in the store? It's like, well, my parents came here. We had to like start a business. Like they could have gone into, I think they probably do a little bit in like random episodes. It has nothing to do with the overall mystery. I guess
it's just a lot different in like a big city like that. You can do stuff like that.
Oh yeah. You could be like, oh yeah, this is how we do this. Or even like Tina. Do we get any more from Tina? Does she ever have like more of a backstory with her family? I don't remember. I'll have to watch.
I don't remember. Do they have a restaurant or something? I don't remember. I don't remember what Tina's family does.
Remember in the intros, like Alex is at the fruit stand when it shows his name, like David Lopez is Alex.
She's like in Koreatown or
she has like a
Vietnamese town or whatever. She's like, you know.
She has like a thing where it looks like they're at a restaurant when he changes her thing and it says like as Tina. And I was like, oh, maybe she has a restaurant. Yeah, maybe her family has a restaurant or something.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see coming up.
As we get through. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So anyway, Jamal, for some reason, seems like way more upset about these like campaign posters or these smear posters going up. And he's like, what the hell? And Alex looks, my place after school. And I'm like, I would have said that yesterday. The first one. I wouldn't have done it like, it's gone. It's fine. Out of sight, out of mind. No, I've been like, what's going on here? Like,
well, they didn't think that like they were gonna all pop right back up like overnight. And why did you not go to the teachers like now? Like, why did you guys?
They never go to a teacher.
Yeah, why did you guys wait? Like, I would have been like, hello, they're targeting just me with like multiple smears. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. So, okay, after school at the Fernandez's, Alex is like, he's wondering why they would do this, and Jamal's like, he's got to be someone who's jealous because it looks like you're going to win the election. Straight up, but like, don't make it so obvious. Like, go after other candidates too.
Yeah.
Like, equal opportunity smearing, you know?
Yeah.
So Lenny figures it's got to be another candidate. And she says, we can use the election newsletter pictures to start a casebook. I'm like, so now we're cutting out pictures and pasting them because they can't remember the kids' faces.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I've got to keep it organized.
Yeah, I guess. So this is the suspects they have. They have Janet Williams, the girl whose sister was president last year. She's in Jamal's social studies class, and she's really smart. But I don't think she's the type that would do this. That's what Jamal says. Then you have Jeffrey Baxter, who's going all in on the campaign with posters and buttons, which is all because of Calvin Ferguson's access to free stuff from his parents' party animal store.
Like, how is that not an immediate disqualification that you can make marketing materials for free at your like parents'
That's a
store?
huge advantage over everybody else.
Yeah, huge. And the song. You like
they didn't even mention the song, but like they have a song.
Yeah, you have a song
one
too.
of you. I am one of you. Yeah. So Lenny's like, Jeffrey is a suck up who goes from group to group trying to fit in with everybody. I'm like, yeah, he is.
That's a teenager.
I mean,
That's what
and
they
then you
all
have
do.
Neetu Kapoor, who apparently ran last year and lost to Janet's sister, and now she's in 8th grade. And for last year at Hurston, so maybe she's not showing a winning chance, and maybe she's trying to do something about it,
Just
right?
out for blood.
Yeah. Say me too.
I know. Say me too.
No, I can't get over that now.
Vote for Neetu. I was like,
Yeah.
no.
No, don't say me too.
No, don't say it.
So Alex realizes Neetu has a sister in Gabby's grade, and he goes over to her side of the room, and she's over here to listen. He goes, "You are listening."
How could she not? There's a blind like in between
you can't not hear it. It's not soundproof. So she's like, "I don't even know her that well. Well, I kind of know her. Okay, I eat with her every single day.
I know.
But I didn't tell her about the nightlight, or maybe I mentioned it." I'm like, damn, Gabby.
Well, what is she, like a grade younger? Because she's in the school.
So no, Gabby is in the elementary school. She is 2 years younger than them. And Tina
So
is 1 year above. She's in between them.
Oh, that's right. So then it's like
they're in 6th grade. Tina's in 5th, and Gabby's in 4th.
Oh, okay. So they're in a different school.
Right.
This is just the junior high. Yeah, they're just in the junior high school.
Right.
That's so funny.
So Lenny writes down, okay, well, Gabby told somebody, Neetu's sister, and Alex is like, I'm gonna nail Neetu tomorrow. I'm like, damn, what's the punching? Like, what's damn?
And the Me Too. Let's change the script here. Nailing, punching.
Yeah, let's not say that. Like,
let's not.
Obviously, it was 20-something years, later,
like
but
30.
So like
30 something.
Like aggressive much. And Gabby's like, look, Neetu's really nice, okay? And just because she knew about the nightlight doesn't mean she did it. And I'm like, that's true. It's true. Listen to the younger one. Sometimes she has more sense.
Mm-hmm.
She's not involved. And so Jamal's like, yeah, Gabby's right. Like, don't come down on her until you know for sure. And of course, toxic masculinity dictates that Alex is going to agree with Jamal and not his little sister.
I know. It's like, really? Okay.
So Ghostwriter shows up and scans the flyer, and then finds some random punctuations at the top. And they're like, what's that about in the top corner? Oh my gosh. And then Alex is like, hey, I've seen this before. And he pulls out a campaign newsletter and shows that the symbols are on there too. And he's like, oh, these were printed in the computer lab at school. Hey, it's only 4:30. We can make it before school closes. Okay, were you allowed to go back to school after
I never
left?
did. I mean, I never did, but I don't think so. I think like teachers and like custodians would be like, what are you doing here? Like,
right.
It's been like 2 hours or like.
And that bothers me when I watch things with kids. Like, they'll be like, we got to go to the school. And they just walk into the school, sometimes in the middle of the night. I'm like, how did you get in? It's locked.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you can't. Yeah, it's like, you can't do that.
It's weird. I don't know why they do that stuff, but
there'll be another
wearing
weird
hats
thing
in
with
school.
the
We couldn't wear hats in school.
No.
We weren't allowed.
No.
That was the thing. And they're showing it in this, and like kids are wearing baseball caps and the berets and all that stuff. Like, why are you wearing hats? But I guess it's different in New York. I don't know. Anyway, so Lenny's like, I can't go. I got to help my dad shop for my birthday party tomorrow. And Alex is like, oh, is he making his favorite chocolate cake? And Lenny's like, you better believe it. So silly. So Gabby's like, can I come? And Alex is like, no.
No.
And she's like, okay. So we hop over to the school, and Jamal and Alex run up to the computer lab as the principal announces that the school will be closing in 5 minutes. Keep that in mind, okay?
5 minutes, okay.
5 minutes. And they see a new kid printing something. And Jamal walks up and starts to talk to him. And as his stuff is printing out, she goes, oh, hi, how you doing? You've been working here for a while? And the kid's not answering. And he's just blowing him off, and he's not paying attention. And then Jamal, like, hey, have you seen this flyer? Do you know anything about this? And shows to him. The kid doesn't answer. He's like, okay. And so when he prints it out, he's got the same symbols on the top. And Jamal's like, and I'm like, guys, remember the campaign poster was printed here too.
The
lab. He didn't print the campaign poster. Come on, put it together. He's got the same symbols. Yeah, because they were all printed on the same computer. Come on, this is weak, y'all. So Alex thinks we need to add him to his list of suspects because he's quiet and he's working alone in the computer lab.
But we don't know his name and he won't talk to us.
I'm like, that's not okay. And then literally the principal goes, the building is closing. I'm like, it has been less than a minute.
I
You said
know.
5 minutes like 30 seconds ago.
Also, I think that I do tend to trace everything back to Jordan Catalano, where they try to like make this kind of character for like us to be like intrigued by, but like
Mhm,
really he's kind of a dick. That was what, 94? I'm taking this
mhm.
back. Rob is like a prerequisite to a Jordan Catalano.
He's kind
He's
of like
like,
an Angela Jordan hybrid.
yes, he's like aloof, but then he will come around and like end up helping, but he
Yeah.
is very like what happened in the computer lab. Like that's a Jordan Catalano move. Just be like, like I'm not gonna answer you. I'm just gonna like do whatever and just be like
Yeah.
very nonchalant about it. But I loved Rob from the moment I saw him. I remember being like, "Who's that? He's cute." Like when I
Oh,
watched
hello.
it.
I just thought that was weird. Anyway, okay, so the next day outside of school, Jamal like taps a beat and Alex is rapping
Oh no,
quotations.
we've suffered.
And he goes, I hear it's your birthday, a boom biddy doo. So here's a rap we wrote for you. Lenny is cool and she's no fool and she's the slickest Ghostwriter team member. And then Jamal's like, the look Jamal gives him, like, really? Really?
That's what you do.
And so Alex was like, she's the slickest detective in the Hurston school. And then
Oh
they
my
start singing Happy
God.
Birthday to You, and Lenny cuts them off. Thanks, I guess.
I just wrote, "Oh Lord, Alex and Jamal rapping for Lenny's birthday. Haven't we suffered enough?"
Like, please, no. We get enough from this from Lenny. We don't need it
I
from
know
everybody
we're
else.
gonna have more from Lenny down the line of like music videos and like God knows whatever else.
Let her have her thing, okay, guys?
Yeah.
We only need one. But anyway, so Alex was like, hey, maybe I can write a rap for my campaign. We could do that. And then an paper airplane flies in his face. And he looks up and these kids are in the window going, and there's this one kid I just want to punch in the face. Like, there's one kid in that window. And it's like, every time I see this, and I remember as a child watching this, and I'm like, I want to hit him so bad. I just this smug little, but, so they open up the airplane and it's a new smear flyer and it says, fried chicken makes Alex cry. How could you vote for such a wimpy guy?
This is crazy though. Like the
This one
story behind it is
This
crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like a picture of Alex crying and running away. And there's like a bucket of like, almost like KFC chicken, fried chicken, right? And Lenny's like, oh, no one's going to believe this. And Alex is like, except it's kind of true. And they're like, what? And he's like, well, I used to have a pet chicken named Naomi. And they're like, what? And he's like,
yeah, it just gets weirder. This gets weirder and weirder.
And then he's like, a bunch of kids in El Salvador have them. And I'm like, wait, I thought they were Cuban.
Are they? Did they say? I
didn't remember El Salvador.
Okay,
like,
maybe they're both.
I thought they were Cuban. I don't know.
Maybe one parent is from Cuba and maybe one parent's from El Salvador. Maybe.
But they came here I don't know. I'm just so confused, but whatever. So he's like, yeah, all these kids have pet chickens. And one day when he was 3 years old, his grandmother accidentally cooked his by accident.
Like, I don't think it was by accident. That's kind of why people have chickens. Like,
But
I
it
think
was his
people...
pet, right? It was like...
but he's 3.
It was
They're probably
3, yeah.
like, he doesn't, like, we'll have another chicken. Like, he's not going to know which one is which. Like,
yeah.
I'm
and
sure.
So, like, Lenny and Jamal, they think it's kind of funny, right? They just start laughing. And he's like, hey, that's not funny. How would you like it if somebody deep fried your cat?
Yeah, that is pretty traumatic that he,
I'm like, well, I mean,
knew.
I get that, but...
Yeah.
Dang. Pets are family, y'all. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's wild.
So Alex says Gabby's the only one who knew about this. And he gets upset and he heads down, he heads inside and he goes to find Nitu. He's like, I know she told that girl, Nitu's sister. And so he approaches her about the nightlight. She goes, it's okay. A lot of kids sleep with nightlights. I'm like, what is wrong with your voice?
Oh, yeah. She does have like a weird...
nasally...
That's weird.
It's like she has a cold or something. She's like, it's okay.
Yeah,
what
I was like
this
but
for?
She likes him though.
Right.
More on that later. That's the real crux of the story.
This becomes a big thing.
Yeah.
And so he shows her the new flyer and Nitu gets excited. Oh, you're a vegetarian too?
I know.
And he's like, no. She's like, oh, well, I still think you're sweet.
I know.
He just like, whatever. And he walks off. And then we hear the principal makes an announcement about the flyers and says, any student is caught participating in the smear campaign, they'll be suspended. And Ghostwriter shows up and tells them not to lose heart via the bulletin board. And Lenny says they need to check out the suspects more, right? So she and Jamal will check out Jeffrey and Alex can look into Janet. Outside, we see, I am one of you, but it's got like this like this
it's
rock
like a
thing going on with it now.
remix.
And Calvin's hanging out with him, and there's a boombox playing, right? And Jeffrey's all in denim with a bandana, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves.
90s.
And then some weird Hell's Angel kid like walks up.
You're like a metal kid.
But he's got like the bandana. It's like, but he's got leather on too. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I was waiting for him to ride up on a bike. He should have done that.
I know. Yeah, like a dirt
but,
bike or like a little bike.
Well, they did that a lot in the last one, I guess, and they didn't want it. Cause where's that kid? Like, does he go to their school?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened?
He lives in their neighborhood. So Jeffrey says, Calvin, we're breaking the rules. And Calvin's like, hey, they're bending the rules. And meanwhile, like Lenny is on top of Jamal's shoulders, and they're up on, there's like steps to go up. And that's where Calvin and Jeffrey are. And so Lenny and Jamal are down here. And so she's up here and she's listening. She's writing down in her notebook. And they're like, let's go confront them. Yeah. So they walk up and they're like, hey, what's up? And he's like, we know you're breaking the rules. And Calvin's like, that's what rules are for. And he grabs Jeffrey and they go, we'll see you later. And we're going to go bug some other voters, right?
As if Jeffrey and Calvin were not like the suspects from the start. Like you saw Calvin there and you're like, it's that kid. like I don't even care what the thing is. It has to be this kid.
They got the money. He's a real jerk. It's got to be them, right?
Yeah, it's got to be them.
So Alex comes up to a classroom and he hears Janet and her sister talking. Janet is not quiet at all. She's like, no, that's not how I want to do it. I want to do my campaign my way. She's like yelling it. And they're like sitting like right next to each other, across from each other. And, the sister's like, I told you, I run a good campaign. My way works. And Janet's like, no. And she's like, you're so hard-headed. And Janet's like, if I'm going to win, I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to do whatever it takes.
So she's now a hot suspect too.
I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Right. So later in the computer lab, Alex and Jamal compare notes, and the new kid walks by, and he drops a piece of paper before heading to the cafeteria. And they pick it up and they read it, and that's what it says. He felt choked with guilt. He wanted to come clean, but he was afraid to speak. If he did, he'd be in trouble. Big trouble. It's not looking good, right? And Alex is like, this is a confession. And Jamal's like, no, this is written in the third person. Like this is, he would say, I feel choked with guilt. And Alex is convinced that, no, it's him. It's him.
No,
and
it's him.
Like, no, but how does he know all this stuff about you, Alex? And Alex is like, I don't care. And he runs to the cafeteria and he runs right up to that kid sitting there and he points a finger right in his face. He goes, it's you, isn't it? Admit it. It's you.
Right in his face. That was intense for that to be like the end where it's like, it's you. And then it's like, end scene. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and end of part one. I swear.
And that was
so
funny.
Okay. If you want more Ghostwriter in your life, you need to check out the link tree and for all the Ghostwriter episodes. I have it on the YouTube as well. So you need to tell a friend, like and subscribe. We're on YouTube. Make sure you're listening or watching us there instead of just listening here. I mean, just check it out. You don't always have to go there.
Yeah, check it all out.
See my face. See her animated face.
See my animated face.
And make sure you come back next week for a whole new part for this Ghostwriter mystery. And don't forget to read and write, y'all. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.